The next thing you want to know about presentation software is how to present well. And a lot of people use presentation software as a crutch, and they just, put their presentation software slides up on the screen, and they really look to the slides to help them get through their presentation. So instead of interacting with their audience, they just read from their slides. And so you don't want to create presentation PowerPoint. I'm just going to call it PowerPoint. You don't want to create PowerPoint presentations like this, because as soon as I put that up on the screen, you all are gone. You guys are like looking at, okay, what just came onto the screen, and you're synthesizing it and you're reading it, and this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now. And yet you're still like, well, what is that? And these are the PowerPoint slides that come with one of the textbooks that we use at the college where I teach. And it's just way too much information. And pretty much all of the instructors teach with these slides. And what does that mean? It's just like the teacher is just reading you information. And how stupid is that? That's not presenting. That's not teaching. That's just reading information. So a much more effective way, and I used to teach business communications, and it's not only what you say, it's also how you say it. And of those two, the how you say it is the most important part. A much more effective way to present is to create presentations like this. System software, right? And so people are going to look at that and they'll be like, this is what, okay, they'll be like system software. And then they'll look back to the presenter. They'll look back to you. This is what we're talking about. It's system software. And what is system software? We already talked about this. And system, we could break computers down into this. And we looked at that. And then here is, here's how we break software down right there into system and application software. And we're going to look at system software. Right? It's just real directed, guided, and you don't want to have too much information on your slides. So that's the most important thing to know about presenting, is you want to keep your slides very, very focused, right? Here's one with a little bit more, but you absolutely want to avoid things like this. And these are just, the general guidelines. They're going to apply most of the time. That doesn't mean occasionally you aren't going to put slides up with tons of information on them, because there will be times where that is warranted and you will walk people through the information. But when you do put a slide up with a ton of information, it's good to walk people through it, because know that they are now reading that, so they're no longer listening to you talking so much. You might as well take the time to walk them through all the information you just put up on the screen. So, here's somebody doing that, and who knows if they were an effective or ineffective presenter, but, this person is walking his audience through what he's presented up on the screen. And that's okay if you do it occasionally, but if you're doing that with every slide, you are not presenting, you're reading. You're not presenting, you're reading. And so it's really important to remember when you present, keep the information on your slides, keep it very limited, and just talk to this one point. Talk to the one point that's up there. When you're done talking to that point, move to your next point. And don't create presentations like this, where every slide is just chock full of information. What you could do is you could have notes. This is another way you could present. You could have notes which you hand out to your audience. So if you do have a lot of things to say about each one, you could have those notes there, so they're not frantically taking notes, and they could actually listen to you. And so you could just have the title of your slide, the binary numbering system. That's what you talk about, and then you'd have these notes for your audience. Anyhow, it's an art. It takes practice. And, the thing you want to try to remember to do is talk. You want to talk. You don't want to read. And you just want to get up there and share whatever's on your mind and your heart about what you want to talk about. And then sometimes you just have to go with yourself wherever you go. Like in one of these videos not too long ago, we ended up talking about poetry, and that was absolutely awesome, I think. Right? A little bit off topic, but it's human. It's real. I'm connecting with you. I'm talking to you. I'm not reading a script. I'm not reading a script. And if you go watch some video trainings, like all of the lynda.com trainings, so many of them are just like they're reading a script. I can totally tell. Like they're looking at the teleprompter and they're not connecting with me. And there's a difference. And it's not that this doesn't have its place, but generally speaking, when you're presenting, you want to share from your heart, your mind. You just want to get up there and you want to talk, and you want to engage your audience and interact with your audience. you know, asking people questions, right? That's keeping them engaged. Let me see a show of hands. How many people have experienced this? How many people have not, right? I want to pose a question to you. All of you stop and just think about it. Don't answer it out loud. I want you to all stop. And now let's just think about this one question. What is it, or what was it that I enjoyed most about summer vacations when I was a kid? So answer that question to yourself right now. What was it that I enjoyed most about summer vacations when I was a kid? Right, like that's engaging your audience. You don't have to have, you know, back and forth dialogue, but you're interacting with them. And so that's a much more effective way of presenting. So just want to share a little bit about not leaning on presentation software as a crutch, not getting up there and reading from every damn slide. You're not reading from every damn slide when you get up there, because you're going to bore your audience to death. And I know you've seen enough video trainings where it's like that. And you've probably been in enough classes where it's like that. And, you know, we just need to bring it into it. We need to bring it into it. Let's get back to interacting and engaging and communicating and talking and sharing, and not just reading presentation slides. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, a little bit of information about presenting well. Again, it's an art. Just remember, when you get up in front of the audience, just talk from your heart. Just talk from your heart. And tell people what's on your mind. And don't have too much information on your slides. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And interact and engage with them. What's going on? How are you all? Ask yourself this question. Don't answer it out loud. Let me see a show of hands. Those kinds of things. And yeah, you know, that's gonna help you. It's gonna make your presentations more dynamic and engaging, and you're gonna be more effective with your audiences. And occasionally, you're gonna go off on random tangents and talk about poetry or whatever comes to mind for you. But that's all right, because it's real. And occasionally, you're gonna go completely blank, and you could just say, I don't know what I was talking about. What was I just talking about? Who could tell me what I was just talking about? I completely went on a tangent. I forgot the point I was going to make. Can anybody remind me what and if somebody can, often people will be like, you were talking about this. That's right. Thank you. Or sometimes people will be like, nobody answers. And it's like, well, guess it isn't important. Let's move to the next point, right? So it's just, you know, being fluid, dynamic, and chill, and, you know, not trying to put on pretenses or come off a certain way or look smart. It's much more effective, actually, if you get up there and you fumble and you laugh a little bit. Because then people will be like, man, you're human just like me, right? So